Part 1. Perfect at First Glance. Anna and Dmitro were a couple everyone admired. They had been together since university, building their careers together, supporting each other through all hardships, and even buying a joint apartment. Their relationship seemed flawless, and it felt like nothing could ruin this ideal. But the perfection was just a facade. Dmitro worked for a large company, often staying late at work, while Anna, with her flexible schedule, spent more time at home. At some point, she began to feel that he was drifting away, that she no longer felt his attention like before. Part 2. Signs of cracks. The changes started gradually. Dmitro began staying at work longer, coming home late, silent, and distant. Anna initially thought it was just fatigue, but then she noticed that he was avoiding conversations, hiding his phone, and even during weekends, acting as though his thoughts were far away. One day when she decided to check his phone, she saw a message from an unknown number. "I miss you." Her heart sank. She couldn't believe that Dmitro, the same man who had sworn loyalty to her, could betray her. Part 3. The truth unfolds. Anna couldn't keep this to herself. She confronted Dmitro directly. At first he denied it, then he claimed it was just a friend, that nothing serious had happened. But his eyes told a different story. After a long interrogation, he admitted, yes, he had an affair. She couldn't believe her ears. Her world shattered into pieces. She thought everything was fine, that they were the perfect couple, but reality was something else. Part 4. Breakup or a chance. Anna left their home. She couldn't be with Dmitro, knowing he had betrayed her. She stayed at a friend's place, trying to gather herself over the next few days. Dmitro called, texted, begged for a meeting. He said it was a mistake, that he didn't know how it happened. But could she forgive him? That question wouldn't let her rest. She loved Dmitro, but could she trust him again? Her friends gave different advice. Some said to leave him. Others suggested trying to fix things. Part 5. Apologies and trials. Dmitro didn't give up. He cut all ties with the woman, openly spoke about everything that had happened. He said it was the biggest mistake of his life. Anna agreed to meet him, but her heart was filled with pain. She saw that he was sincerely sorry, but that wasn't enough. They decided to give their relationship a trial period. Dmitro did everything he could to regain her trust. He changed his behavior, paid more attention to Anna, and tried to make her happy. But each time she looked at him, the moment when she found out about his betrayal replayed in her mind. Part 6. The Test of Fate. One day, Anna accidentally ran into the woman Dmitro had been involved with. She wasn't anything special, just an ordinary woman. Anna realized that it wasn't about her. It was about something broken in their relationship with Dmitro. And he wasn't looking for new love. He was just escaping from reality. It was an epiphany that changed everything. She realized that it wasn't just about forgiveness. It was about deciding, did she want to rebuild a relationship with this person, or was it better to move on? Part 7. The Decision. Anna hesitated for a long time. She thought about their pasts, the good moments, but also about the pain she had gone through. Eventually she understood. Forgiveness was possible, but forgetting, no. And even if Dmitro was truly sorry, her trust would never be the same as before. They met for the last time. Dmitro looked at her with hope, but she knew their time had passed. She told him that she loved him, but now she had to love herself. And she left. Part 8, A New Beginning. Anna started a new life. She learned a lot about herself, her boundaries, and the fact that forgiveness wasn't always about returning, but sometimes about letting go. She no longer felt anger or pain. She released the past and took a step into a new future. And Dmitro? He had changed too. And though their paths had diverged, he would always remember that betrayal cost too much. Part 9. The Shadow of the Past. Anna continued her new life, but from time to time, her thoughts would drift back to Dmitro. She tried not to think about him, but some moments reminded her of what had once been, especially when she ran into his old friends or passed by their old apartment. All those memories were like a shadow that wouldn't leave her alone. She tried not to return to the past, but her heart sometimes whispered that something remained unsaid. Part 10. A Chance Encounter. One evening after a long day at work, Anna was walking home when she unexpectedly saw Dmitro. He was standing near a cafe, seemingly waiting for someone. Her heart tightened. This wasn't just a meeting. It felt like their paths had crossed again, though with no hope of rekindling their relationship. Dmitro saw her and quickly walked up. His eyes were filled with pain and regret. He began apologizing, but as Anna looked at him, she realized that it didn't matter. They had both been through so much, and neither of their hearts was the same as it once was. Part 11. An Unexpected Message. A few days after the meeting with Dmitro, Anna received a message from him. I can't forget you, Anna, and though I know everything has changed, I want you to know that I'll always love you. These words shattered her. She felt a void open in her soul. Her heart wanted to respond, but her mind remained cold. She couldn't allow herself to go back, even if she felt the same way. Part 12. Shared Memories. Anna decided to visit the places where she and Dmitro had once spent time together. She went to their favorite park, by the river, where they often sat on a bench, holding hands. The memories that overwhelmed her were so vivid that for a few moments she forgot everything. The pain, the betrayal. She sat on the bench, watching the river, feeling how hard it was to forget those moments of happiness they had shared. But then she remembered that love isn't just about happy moments, but also about how we learn to forgive ourselves and others. Part 13. A Glimpse of Hope. Months passed since Anna had made the decision to move on, and life seemed to be flowing in a new direction. One day she received an unexpected message. This time, it was from a man she had met at a mutual friend's gathering. His name was Mark. They had talked briefly, but their lives had moved in different directions after that encounter. The message was simple. I know we didn't speak much, but I've always thought about you since we met. Would you like to get coffee sometime? At first, Anna hesitated. She wasn't sure if she was ready to open herself up to someone new, but something inside her pushed her to take the chance. Maybe it was the right time to test the waters, to see if love could be reborn in a different way. She agreed, and they arranged to meet. The conversation flowed effortlessly as they shared stories and laughed. And for the first time in a long time, Anna felt an authentic connection with someone. It wasn't love, but it was a gentle reminder that life could surprise her in ways she hadn't imagined. Part 14. The Final Goodbye. Though Anna had allowed herself to explore new connections, There was still one thing left unsettled, one last meeting that needed to happen. Dmitro reached out once more, asking if they could meet for closure. Anna knew this meeting was necessary for both of them. They met at a quiet cafe, the atmosphere between them heavy with memories. Dmitro's face was etched with regret, but Anna was different now. She was no longer the woman who had been shattered by his betrayal. She had grown stronger, and the pain that once overwhelmed her no longer controlled her life. I've come to understand, Dmitro began, his voice barely above a whisper, that I lost you the moment I hurt you. I don't expect forgiveness, Anna. I just needed you to know how sorry I am. Anna looked into his eyes, searching for the sincerity she had longed for. And in that moment, she realized she didn't need his apology to heal anymore. She had forgiven him long ago, but it wasn't about him. It was about her journey, her own path toward peace. I know, Dmitro, she said softly, her voice steady, and I want you to know that I've moved on. Not because I don't care, but because I've learned to care for myself first. She stood up, gave him one final look, and walked away. As she stepped out of the cafe, she felt lighter than she had in a long time. It was the last chapter of their story, and it was time to close the book. The end.